Hey everybody, welcome to Queer Girl Straight Skates. I'm Rebel. Today we are going to teach you some beginner tricks on roller skates. Queer Girl Straight Skates is a YouTube channel full of roller skating tutorials, reviews, and general roller skating lifestyle videos. So if you are a roller skater, you've been skating forever, or if you're just learning how to roller skate, this is the channel for you. So I highly recommend that you subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you can get notified when I post. I post every Tuesday, I go live every Sunday, and then I have a random exciting skate video in the middle of it where we go live together. So without further ado, here are some tricks that you can learn how to do if you are a beginner and you are working past just skating down a street and you want to try and look a little bit more fancy. You can try some of these. I've got 5 tricks for you. Okay, so I want you to bear in mind that I have no idea what any of these moves are actually called. So if you know what they're called, please put them in the comments because I'm literally just gonna make up names for them or have an extended series of words to explain what I'm trying to do. So the first thing is going to be skating forward, and it's gonna have your foot extended out in front of you, mainly on the heel. So what you need to do going into this is you need to know how to comfortably roll forward. So as long as you can skate and then you can roll forward, then you can probably start trying this move. So in order for you to successfully learn this move, you're gonna need to be able to balance on one foot and skate forward. So it could be the right foot or the left foot, whichever one is more comfortable for you. So once you know that you're comfortable moving forward and also balancing on one foot, what you're gonna do is you are going to start rolling. I recommend you do this slow at first. So you're gonna start rolling, you're gonna bend your knees, and then you're gonna pick whatever leg is the most comfortable for you, and you're gonna put it in front of you on your heel. So you're gonna be rolling, and then whatever foot is comfortable, you pick it up, you put it on your heel in front of you, and you're gonna continue rolling forward. Your knees are bent. So once you get comfortable with doing it slow and just being in that position, so practicing, like moving, and then having that there, then you could be like, wow, look at me. My knees are bent, my foot's in front of me, it's on my heel, this is cool. I wanna make it a little bit cooler. You can move your ankle from the right to the left and kind of sway it in front of you, kind of like a little snake in front of you. So what this would look like is this would look like this. So this is a fun thing to do if you are at a rink or if you're at a tennis court or if you're just skating down the street, you want to add a little pizzazz. Adding a pizzazz by putting your foot in front and moving it back and forth or just putting your foot in front. It's a cool way to do it. Okay, so trick number 2 is going to be a lot easier than the other tricks. So what it is a toe stop kick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant my toe stop, then I'm gonna kick my foot. So you can do it either way. You could do it on planting your right foot and kicking out to the left. You could plant your right foot, your toe stop, and then kick to the right. You could plant your left toe stop and kick to the right. You could plant your left toe stop and kick to the left. But either way you do it, it gives you like that angles with your body. I like adding my hands with it because I used to be a dancer and so it just kind of like clicks with me. So what you're doing is you are going to be bending your knees. So you bend your knees, you plant whatever toe stop you're going to toe stop onto. On this instance, I'm gonna toe stop onto my left foot, and then I'm going to kick out my right foot and straighten up my knee once I get to the top of that toe stop kick. So once I kick, straighten, and then going back down, I'm bending into it. So what I really like doing is I like doing this at the beginning of going skating because sometimes I just don't know what to do to make it look cool when I'm going into like just skating around. So what I'll do is I'll bend my knees, I'll plant my toe stop, I'll kick, and then I land and go into some sort of skating movement. And it just looks so fun and it has just a little bit more of a kick to it. So the next move is a move that you also will do in place, and I'm going to teach you the slow version of this, and you can speed it up as you get more comfortable with it. But what it's going to look like eventually is you are going in and out with your feet. So it's going to look like this, and then you can speed it up. And it looks really cool, but it really starts out as this very basic step. And so the basic step that I'm gonna teach you is you're starting either with your toes in or your toes out. I like starting with my toes in because I think that the energy that it takes to put my toes out is a good starting point for me. So you start with your toes in, your knees are bent, and then you're going to shift both of your toes to the outward, and you're moving either to the right or to the left. And then you can either continue moving to the right and then put your toes back in and then put your toes out again, or you can move back to the left and you're putting your toes in and then out and then in and then out. So the way you know which side you're going is you are going to be kind of pushing your weight a little bit in that direction. So when I'm going to the right, even though I'm still doing the same movement, I'm gonna move my weight a little bit more to this side, so I'm moving in this way, as opposed to when I do the move to the left, I'm putting my weight a little bit more over here, so even though I'm still just going from out to in, I'm putting my weight this way, so I'm gonna move this way. So you're gonna practice going back and forth, and you can do any combination of this. So like, you could go out, in, and then out, in, or you could go out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, or you can like just add it up, or you can just keep going one way or the other, and it's really fun, makes you look cool, and not that hard. So our next move is we are going to start practicing to get into a jump 180 turn. When you're doing a jump 180 turn, you are essentially just moving from one side to the other. It's like a transition, but it is a jump transition. So what we're learning right now is not a full jump 180 turn, so don't freak out. What we're doing is we're doing a couple steps that lead up to a jump 180 turn. So again, a jump 180 turn is when you're one direction, you jump, and then you're the other direction. And the way you're gonna do that is by bending your knees, looking in the direction that you're gonna go, kind of the same way that you would if you were doing a transition and you're bending your knees and then looking and then stepping. But instead what you're gonna do is you're gonna bend your knees, you're gonna look, and as you're looking, you are going to jump. And then you're gonna land in a bended knee position. Now, if that is too much for you and you're like, oh my gosh, Rebel, in the title you said that this was a beginner video, like that is not beginner moves. This is what I want you to start working on. So what you can start working on is you can start working up to 180 by doing quarter jump turns. So you will start facing one direction, and instead of trying to go the whole way around, what you're just trying to do is you're just trying to jump a quarter. So you're gonna start the same way with your knees bent, and then you are going to jump and land in a quarter turn. And then you're going to, again, if you want to continue doing it, you're going to look the direction that you're trying to go, bend those knees, jump, land in the bended knee facing the direction that you're trying to do. And then you want to try both sides, because you may think that your right side is best, but your left side might be best, and it might be sneaky, you just didn't know. So now let's try on my left side. So I'm going to bend my knees, I'm going to look where I'm going, I'm going to jump, and I did a 180 turn. Okay, so an important thing to note when you are jumping into a 180 or even a 90-degree jump is that you need to make sure that your feet are staggered. So you're not going to be jumping with your feet right next to each other like this. You're gonna be staggered. And so when you're staggered, you're gonna start in a staggered position. You're also gonna land in a staggered position. Now, there are many different ways that you can land, but I think the easiest way to land, especially when you're doing a 180 jump turn, is to not jump all the way and end up with this foot in the front again, which you can do that, but you could also jump and you're ending up with your back foot now in the front. So you have less room to go, so let me demonstrate both ways. So either you could stagger and then end up with this back foot in the front, so you're looking back, you're bending your knees, and you're ending up like that. Or you could stagger, you're gonna try and end up with the same front foot in the front again over there. You're jumping, you need a little bit more momentum this way. So that's gonna be a lot harder. So if you're just starting to do 180s and you're trying to get around, you might just wanna think about pivoting so the back foot ends up in the front like this. So it's less room to go. So if I'm turning to the left, my left foot is in the back, then I'm gonna end up with my left foot in the front. So the harder one is going to be when this front foot ends up being in the front again. So you're gonna have to look the direction you're going. You're gonna need a little bit more momentum on this one. And jump, and end up like that. So if you're not comfortable with jumping yet, I have a video about just how to jump. You should watch that video before trying to attempt this trick. Another thing that you should be comfortable with before attempting this trick is transitions. So you should feel comfortable going from one way of skating to another way of skating in order to complete this trick effectively. Our last trick is going to actually be a little bit of a turn. And by a little bit, I mean, it's definitely a turn. But we're not picking our feet up off of the ground in this turn. In this turn, what we're doing is we're just going from forward to backwards, but we're not doing a transition where we step. We are doing a flow transition using a little bit of side stance. So it's gonna look like you're going forwards. Well, right now I'm going backwards. I'm gonna go forwards and then I'm going to transition into a skate backwards. This one is the first one that I learned. It's the first one that Shove learned, and honestly, it looks really fancy, feels really smooth, and is a lot easier than it looks. So in order to learn how to do this, you do need to get a little bit comfortable with opening up your legs like this. So you don't need to do the full side stance, like you don't need to be fully like this in order to do this trick, but you do need to be able to open up your feet enough that you can kind of glide even in a circle into that. So what you're going to practice doing is you're gonna practice first off just opening up your feet into a little bit of a first position, and then when you are moving, you're gonna practice doing not just skating forward like this, but putting one foot behind you. So either practice going forward and then you're like, okay, I think that my left foot would feel better if I put it behind. Try putting your left foot behind for just a second. Or if your right foot is more comfortable behind, try putting your right foot back for a second. And you just need to be able to put it down for a second at first. So first step, be comfortable gliding. Second step, be comfortable in this position. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna let gravity take you. The wonderful part about this trick is that honestly, like, you don't do a lot of the work. You kind of just set yourself up, and then your body and the torque and everything that is the momentum that you have going for you, that kind of finishes the trick for you. So in slow motion, what you're doing, and I'm gonna do it to the right because that's my favorite side, and then I'll show you to the left. In slow motion, you're moving, and then you're putting your right foot forward, you're following with your left foot, and then you're just letting it go with you, and then you continue skating backwards. The way you're getting the momentum going into this turn is that you are bending your knees going into it. So you're skating and you have your knees bent, but then you're bending a little bit more, you're pushing with your foot that's leading, and then you are straightening up going to the back. So the momentum is you pushing, bending, and then straightening. So on the left foot, pushing, bending, straightening. And then you end up with whatever your leading foot is, you end up with that foot in the back. Then I'm gonna bend, right foot leads, left foot follows, right foot switches around and is going backwards. If I'm moving with my left foot, I'm going to skate forward, bend, push that left foot out, follow with the right foot, and then switch around that left foot going backwards, and then I'm going backwards. watching this episode of Queer Girl Straight Skates. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that you enjoyed these 5 tricks. If you know what their names are, please put them in the comments because I literally don't know. And if you try them and you succeed, please tell me about it because I want to hear. And if you want to support me, you can become a Patreon. The link is in the description, or you can buy stuff from my Etsy, Cheers to the Queers. And I have a bunch of new reverse tie-dyed shirts that say Queer Girl Straight Skates on top, and also cool patches and stickers. But most importantly, cheers to the queers! And now it's time to announce the winner of the free virtual skate shop sesh. And that winner is, drumroll please, I am perpetually confused, which I felt like was very fitting of a winner for this virtual skate shop. So I am perpetually confused. Email me at queergirlstraightskates@gmail.com and I will get you set up with your virtual skate shop appointment. Yay!